Where am I looking?
Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, and I am so pleased to have Paul Hydock here, who you've got a new company called EnergyWise.
That's correct.
And you know, after talking to you for a little bit off the air, we got a lot of things in common. Number one, a former fighter pilot for the Air Force, and now an instructor, which is just awesome. Which means you definitely know a little something about gas, but there's another part too. you know about burning in an afterburner anyway. But the other part of it too that's kind of exciting is that you traded commodities in this area for a long time.
That is correct.
And now taking all of that knowledge of it and moving it towards helping us all be more efficient with our use and maybe saving some money.
That's right, Joe. That's right. About a year ago, we formed a new company called EnergyWise. And we are a compressed natural gas solutions company. And we specialize in converting vehicles that operate on BiFuel or dedicated natural gas, which means you can operate on gasoline or you can operate on compressed natural gas.
And you're carrying both when in that situation, is that right?
That is correct. In a BiFuel situation, you're carrying both. We also install refueling stations. So right now we happen to be very lucky here in Park City, and we have one refueling station, which is the Top Stop.
Yeah, it's just right down the street,
right down the street,
away from us.
And we're looking to install other refueling stations in other locations.
You know, when I saw that, I wondered, you know, about the use up here, because as you said, this is the only one right here, just a block away here. And but the use is pretty high. It's growing all the time.
That is correct. Usage is absolutely growing, but you know, we're only a fraction of what we can be.
Right.
You know, here in Utah, for example, there is approximately 1 million vehicles, registered vehicles in the state of Utah. Right now, approximately, there's 11,000 that are compressed natural gas. So you can look at those numbers and look at percentages, and it's a very, very small number. However, we are growing. In Utah, we happen to be very lucky to be living here, in that the state of Utah is very favorable towards compressed natural gas. We have a total of approximately 87 refueling stations, both public and private stations here in the state of Utah. California being a leader state with about 225. But we're growing every day.
This is really great. One of the things that I'm sure people come up with immediately as a question for this is, can any car be converted?
The answer to that question is right now, 99% of the vehicles can be converted.
Really?
Okay. Within another year, I will tell you 100% of the cars can be converted.
And what is the kicker for the 1% that can't? What's the thing that prevents them?
Well, there is a new technology that came out with Ford Motor Company, which is called a direct injected engine. And the technology is being developed, and I was actually in Austin, Texas this last week looking at some of the new technology that they're using on the new direct injected engines, which will be out relatively soon.
That's really cool. Now, the big part that we should be focused on here is the fact that there is a lot of natural gas in America, which is kind of the whole point here. If we really want to be energy independent, we got to kind of cut it off of the whole, you know, the whole oil and gas industry and start looking at the natural gas industry as a solution, because we have a lot more of it.
That is correct. Again, very lucky to be here in the United States.
Right.
We have a 100-year supply right now of natural gas.
That's amazing.
Okay, if we didn't drill any other additional wells, about 100 years. So we have a fantastic abundance of homegrown, clean burning fuel, which is natural gas.
And this is good for a lot of things. Number one, we're going to get lower emissions, right?
Right.
We also get some pretty good gas mileage on it, from what I understand.
Yeah, your gas mileage will be approximately the same.
Which
okay,
is
it's what
pretty terrific, really.
Which is pretty terrific. The benefits of compressed natural gas are, one, you have an economic benefit, obviously. Okay, you're looking at up to 66% savings. Okay, with compressed natural gas, which is huge. If you're looking at, you can buy natural gas today at the pump for about $1.48 a gallon.
It's cheaper than avgas.
Which is, yeah, way cheaper than avgas. It's $6 a gallon.
Exactly.
So way cheaper. So about $1.48 a gallon, okay, compared to what we're presently paying today. You know, so let's say it's $3.70. So it's there's a huge savings. Okay, two, you can extend the maintenance on your vehicle. Okay, what dirties an engine? What pollutes?
It's that oil that's in the gas, typically, right?
It's carbon.
Carbon.
Right?
Okay.
We always talk about carbon footprint. Okay, so what happens with natural gas? For example, diesel fuel has 14 carbon atoms in it.
Okay.
Gasoline has 8.
And you got to break that down.
Nat gas has 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at the carbon footprint of a natural gas vehicle, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
And you don't get those carbon deposits on all your parts.
That's exactly right. That's where we go back to the maintenance issue. Okay, you look at an engine that's been running on natural gas, the engine is running clean. You don't get the carbon deposits as you talked about. And lastly, the big advantage is we decrease our dependency on foreign oil.
Yeah. Which is a great thing to begin with.
Which is
we
awesome.
Need to be doing it all along, really. It's
absolutely.
For some reason, we've traded that away for, I don't know, was it ease of getting it? Is that really where it came from? What was the reason when we have those reserves here, when we have fuel here to go after stuff overseas?
Well, the United States has inherently been one of the largest oil consumption countries in the world.
Right.
Okay, and to get people off of what they're presently used to using, okay, is a difficult task.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you look at the European markets, there's compressed natural gas everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a total of approximately 12 million vehicles worldwide which are compressed natural gas.
And most of them are overseas.
12 million. Okay, that is a huge, huge number. And most of it, all of that, is overseas.
Wow.
Okay, so that's an important fact, to remember.
Well, one thing I want to ask you about too, that I know there's half a dozen farmers right now that are watching this show. They're saying, well, I'm not putting that in my truck because I know I got to tow 4 horses up a hill. I got to come up Parley's Canyon. How am I going to get the power to do that with natural gas? Okay, well,
the answer to your question. Number one, diesel technology is being developed today with compressed natural gas. You can today inject a blend of compressed natural gas with diesel fuel. Okay, blend it with about with about up to a 50-50 blend. You will actually increase the performance capability of that diesel engine by doing so. So it goes up.
It's hard for people to wrap their head around that.
It will be. The next one is on a gasoline engine. That technology has been around since World War II. It's not new technology.
Right.
Okay, but what it is, if you recall a long time ago, you're a young guy, if you recall the bag phone you used to carry around for your cell phone?
Yeah.
You had one, right?
Yeah.
Today we've got the iPhone.
Yeah.
The 4G iPhone. The technology has gone from pre-bag phone to 4G iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay, which is very, very, very cool. So on a gasoline engine today, approximately the same performance. So you don't give up a lot like you used to hear all these horror stories 10, 15, 20 years ago where we gave up a lot of performance. The vehicle couldn't make it up Parley's Canyon.
Right.
Okay, you'd have to shut off the air conditioner in order to run the vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the case
None of that
today.
anymore.
No.
And you can even put it in a sports car and still go fast if you like, right?
Sure you can. You can put it in a sports car. I'm in right now, I'm getting a brand new Raptor.
Is that right?
6.2.
Oh, nice. That'll be
fun.
That
Raptor is going to be a CNG Raptor.
That's great.
Okay, and we'll have our name on the side of it, and you'll see this black CNG Raptor driving around Park City.
That'll be terrific. Well, cost to do this?
Yeah, the system cost can be anywhere from, and I'm going to give you a fairly large range, $6,000 to $10,000.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason why I'm giving you a large range is because obviously there are different types of systems.
Right.
Okay, that you can use, and we custom tailor and design the system for your needs. The other thing that is a very large component cost of the system is tanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you do a BiFuel vehicle, you keep your gas tank, your gasoline tank, and you have to put in a CNG tank.
Right.
Well, how much capacity do you need? How do you drive your vehicle? If you tell me I drive every day from Heber to Park City, 75 miles one way or 150 miles, total trip, I'm going to size a tank for your specific needs, and then refuel again in Heber on the way home. If you tell me that you have to drive to Boise, Idaho,
right,
every other day,
that's going to be different.
It's going to be a different story because in Idaho there's only 2 refueling stations today.
Right.
Now it doesn't mean that's going to stay that way because we plan on putting refueling stations in Idaho. All right, but for today, okay, I want to size or give you as much capacity as I can. Okay, to get you from Salt Lake City to Boise, Idaho at $1.48 a gallon. Okay, you get to Boise, you fill up, you come on back. Now, if you decide you want to go somewhere else with a BiFuel system, the advantage is you're on natural gas, you run out of natural gas, the vehicle automatically converts back over to gasoline. very slick.
Yeah, that's a lot like the Chevy Volt, where you're on electricity, and when it needs to, although it's a little different because it's producing electricity with its motor, but still, it's the same idea. You've got that hybrid idea of being able to have one, and when you're going longer range, you've got the other.
Absolutely, that is correct. You know, we do dedicated CNG systems. The dedicated systems, we primarily deal with limousine companies.
Yeah.
Okay, they want to drive back and forth from Park City every day to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Back and forth. All right, but yet they don't want to give up any storage space.
Right.
For luggage.
Makes
so
sense.
what we do is we pull out the gasoline tank, we put in CNG tanks, we mount them underneath the vehicle, we don't take up any storage space, okay, and they get what they want. Vehicle runs great, but it's for a short hop type thing.
That makes sense.
Right.
I mean, especially if you're a commuter, this is really a great idea as far as if you know your commute, you know that there's the stations you need, then having a commuter car, so to speak, of that, you know, with CNG makes good sense.
Right.
The thing that I think is interesting too is how fast you could recoup that cost. Because as you said, yeah, it could be $6,000, but when you think about commuting, I do a lot of it, and I come up here every day.
Right.
I spend $100 a week in gas easily.
Right.
You know, which is when you start adding that up.
How many
fast,
miles a year do you think you drive your vehicle?
I'm definitely doing more than the typical human being. So I'm going to say that I get a good 40,000.
Okay, 40,000 miles. I'm going to get you I can put a system in your car that will probably be about a 1-year payback.
See, that's amazing. In a year, you make that money back.
In a year. After that, it's free.
Yeah. So people have got to. There's definitely we've got to start getting in our head that these technologies have finally caught up to the point where not only are they cost effective, but they're going to make you money, you know, so to speak, in the long run. You're going to save so much.
Correct. What we typically do is we ask a customer that question, and we say, how many miles a year do you typically drive? If somebody tells me they drive 15,000 miles a year and greater, you're a candidate for a BiFuel CNG system.
Right.
Okay. If you're dealing with 40,000 miles a year,
yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, you need to do it. I mean, it's ridiculous for you not to do it.
Yeah,
you're
why keep spending the money?
You're throwing money out the window.
Okay, that Nissan Xterra out there, I'll just give you the keys and you take it this afternoon.
We just did a Fox News
Nissan. Yeah,
for
they
Fox
have a lot
News,
of those.
Channel 13.
That's smart.
Right.
Well, if people want to figure out, come in with you, sit down and figure out whether this makes sense for them, what do they need to do? Well,
they could give us a call, and the phone number to call would be 801-869-1730.
Okay.
Or you can go on our website, which is www.energywiseutah.com.
Awesome.
So it'd be 801-869-1730. And we're down right around State Street, right around 3900 South in State is where we're located.
All right. Paul, any closing thoughts? Is it something I haven't asked that I should have?
Well,
because I know there's so much about this that I'm curious about.
Well, we're very excited about this business opportunity. We're very excited to have this business here in Utah. And I think that with today's economic times, this is a very logical choice for folks to look at and seriously consider. And on top of that, we're doing a really good thing.
Yeah.
We're helping the environment.
And Utahns are smart. They know that we've got to do something to eliminate some of this smog and stuff that we're getting in the summertime now. Our carbon footprint's pretty huge. We've got to do something.
Well, you're very much aware of that. You live down there, and every time I drive down there and see it, I'm saying, imagine what it would be like, okay, to have don't have that smog again down there during that inversion time.
Well, and the scariest thing for me, they say that we're 30 years away from doubling our population in Utah. 30 years away. And if we do that and we continue to drive the way we are, we're in real trouble if we don't do something.
Well, very good. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Certainly appreciate it, Paul.
All right, thanks,
we'll
Joe.
be back with more after these messages. Don't go anywhere.